Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito making stops throughout Western Mass today. With their administration now in its final weeks, the pair was in Ashfield earlier today to discuss the ongoing broadband expansion efforts before coming here to Springfield.
Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson joins us live in studio with the details. Maria.
Chris, Mary, the governor and lieutenant governor were honored today in Springfield at a special luncheon where Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno presented the pair with keys to the city of Springfield. Local leaders from around Western Mass were there to thank Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, as well as reflect on a number of projects their administration supported throughout their 2 terms in office. Western Mass News spoke with Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno about his relationship with the Baker-Polito administration.
I have to say with Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito, unprecedented access. We spoke all the time, and he loves coming out. They both love coming out to Springfield.
While at the event, the governor and lieutenant governor had this to say about their time in office.
We so appreciate the trust that we are able to believe in you and that you are able to expect from us. Because it is trust that ultimately lays the foundation for all the good things that the public and private sector can do together to build stronger communities.
As we turn out of office, I feel a bit of satisfaction in knowing that we could deliver on those promises and hopes and dreams in many ways throughout the Western Mass communities and throughout the state.
Western Mass News asked Mayor Sarno what he expects to see with the next administration.
I think the access will continue with also Governor-elect Healy and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll.
Mayor Sarno tells us he believes his pre-existing relationship with both Governor-elect and Lieutenant Governor-elect will help the transition to the next administration, which is set to take office in January. Reporting live in studio, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.
Maria.